Welcome to Kaiju No.8, Episode 1. In this version of Japan, giant monsters called kaiju regularly attack cities. Think building-sized creatures that can level entire neighborhoods in minutes. To combat this threat, Japan has the Defense Force. These are elite soldiers in high-tech suits who respond to kaiju attacks, fight the monsters, and protect civilians. They're heroes. They're celebrities. When they win a battle, crowds gather to cheer and take pictures. But here's what nobody talks about. After the Defense Force kills a kaiju, someone has to clean up the body. A 60-meter-long monster corpse doesn't just disappear. Someone has to cut it apart, bag the pieces, and haul it away. That's where our story begins. The episode opens with a kaiju attack in Yokohama. The Defense Force responds. They eliminate the threat efficiently. Then we cut to our protagonist, Kafka Hibino. He's 32 years old. He works for Monster Sweeper Incorporated, a company that handles kaiju corpse disposal. And right now, he's looking at a mountain of work ahead of him. Kafka is not what you'd expect from an anime protagonist. He's not a teenager. He's not particularly talented. He's just a regular guy doing a gross job that nobody wants to do. His boss assigns him to work on the intestines. This is apparently the worst possible assignment. One of his coworkers explains why. Think about what's inside intestines. The smell is so bad that workers can't eat for days afterward. This is Kafka's life. Day after day, he's covered in monster guts, doing work that nobody appreciates or even acknowledges. That night, Kafka goes home exhausted. He turns on the TV, and there's a special feature about the 3rd Division of the Defense Force. The segment focuses on the division's captain, Mina Ashiro. She's only 27 years old, but she's already a legend. The report mentions she's being considered for division commander, one of the highest ranks in the entire Defense Force. Kafka watches this, and we can see something in his eyes. Pain, regret. This isn't just some random captain to him, but the episode doesn't explain their connection yet. It's saving that reveal. The next morning, Kafka goes to work and meets a new part-time employee, a young man named Reno Ichikawa. Ichikawa is polite, hardworking, and has a clear goal. He wants to join the Defense Force. One of the senior workers makes a joke. He points at Kafka and says, his dream was to join the Defense Force too. But he gave up. He's a veteran here now. This is the worst, right? It's meant to be funny, but it's actually cruel. Kafka tries to brush it off. He tells Ichikawa, I tried my best, but there are so many talented people. I hit a wall. You'll understand when you're older. And this is where Ichikawa surprises everyone. He looks directly at Kafka and says, I won't. I'll never give up. I'll never understand until the day I die. Not that I want to. Silence. This kid just called out Kafka's entire existence. He basically said, I will never be like you. I will never quit on my dreams. Kafka has no response. Because what can he say? The kid is right. As punishment for that awkward exchange, both Kafka and Ichikawa get assigned to intestine duty. The work is exactly as horrible as described. Ichikawa is struggling. He can barely eat his lunch. He's clearly not going to make it. But then Kafka does something kind. He gives Ichikawa his own lunch, something easier to eat. He shares little tips to make the work more bearable. Ichikawa doesn't understand at first, but by the end of the shift, he's grateful. As they're leaving, Ichikawa stops Kafka. He thanks him for helping him survive his first day. Then he mentions something he heard. The Defense Force is raising the age limit for new recruits from 30 to 33 because of declining birth rates. Kafka is 32. He could still apply. Ichikawa says, it's your life, so it's none of my business. But when you said you gave up, you looked really sad. If I got it all wrong, you're free to give up all you want. This kid sees through Kafka completely. He knows Kafka didn't want to give up. He knows Kafka is lying to himself. That's when everything goes wrong. A yoju appears. Yoju are smaller kaiju, but they're still incredibly dangerous. This one is right there in the cleanup site, and it's charging straight at them. Kafka makes a split-second decision. He tells Ichikawa to run and report the threat. He'll stay behind and distract the creature. Ichikawa protests, but Kafka is firm. You're joining the force, right? Don't die here. Kafka faces the yoju alone. He's terrified. He has no weapons, no training, no chance. But he tries anyway, attempting to buy time for Ichikawa to escape. The Yoju destroys him. It's not even close. Kafka gets thrown around like a rag doll. But then Ichikawa comes back. Kafka's furious. "You idiot! Why did you come back?" Ichikawa yells back, "I made the report, but if I leave you here and run, I'd never become a Defense Force officer." This kid is willing to die to save Kafka, a man he just met yesterday, a man who gave up on his dreams. As Kafka lies there, bleeding and helpless, his mind flashes back. We see two children standing in ruins. Their neighborhood has been destroyed by a kaiju attack. Kafka is mourning his video game progress. A little girl with him is mourning her cat, Miko. The girl says, "I won't forgive kaiju. I'm going to join the Defense Force." Kafka says the same thing. The girl challenges him. "Let's bet on who becomes the coolest Defense Force officer. Let's defeat all the kaiju together." This little girl was Mina Ashiro. They made a promise as children. They were going to fight kaiju together. They were going to be heroes together. She kept the promise. She became a captain at 27. Kafka broke the promise. He gave up. He's cleaning monster intestines at 32. The weight of this realization hits him all at once. Suddenly, the 3rd Division arrives. Mina Ashiro herself appears, and with one devastating shot from her weapon, she obliterates the Yoju. Her team secures the area and tends to the wounded. Kafka watches Mina work. She's so far beyond him now. She's somewhere he can never reach. Ichikawa, injured but alive, turns to Kafka. "After you told me to run, if you didn't save me then, I would have died today. You were really cool. I really think you should be a Defense Force officer." And just like that, something breaks inside Kafka. All the excuses, all the justifications, all the lies he's been telling himself for years. He stands up and declares, "When will I stop looking away from what's important? I'm going to try joining the Defense Force again." Kafka and Ichikawa are taken to the hospital for treatment. Kafka's injury isn't serious, just surface level. But that night, something happens. A small creature appears. It looks almost like a tiny kaiju. It flies directly toward Kafka, and before he can react, it forces its way into his mouth. Kafka collapses, convulsing. His body starts changing. His skin turns dark and scaly. His eyes glow. Ichikawa watches in horror as his senpai transforms into something monstrous. Kafka looks at his own hands, now clawed and inhuman, and realizes what's happening. He's becoming a kaiju, the very thing he swore to destroy, the very thing he needs to fight to join the Defense Force. He's becoming one of them. The episode ends with massive questions. What is Kafka now? Is he human? Is he kaiju? Is he something in between? Can he control this transformation? Or will he lose himself completely? What happens if the Defense Force discovers what he is? Will they try to kill him? Can he still join the Defense Force? And if he does, will he have to hide what he's become? Most importantly, will he finally be able to stand beside Mina as an equal? Or will this transformation push them even further apart?